In this video, I'm going to talk about the #1 reason you haven't found your soulmate yet and how to attract love now. My name is Stefan Gonek. I'm an expert EFT practitioner and founder of the Soulmate Attraction Academy from singletosoulmate.me. If you're watching this, you're very likely longing to be with your soulmate and been struggling for a long time, and you may not be aware of what has truly been keeping you from the love of your life. Well, you are not alone. There are countless people that are finding their love lives to be a complete mystery, not understanding why they've been having one painful relationship after another, or boring relationships, or no relationships at all. The true reason you haven't found your soulmate yet is not what you think, and it is not your fault. It is due to hidden programming from your childhood that is part of being a member of the human race. Rather than tell you what the reason is, I want to do a special process with you right now so you'll experience it for yourself. You'll get a lot more out of it this way. So I invite you to close your eyes, and then I'd like you to think about your parents or caregivers that you grew up with. And in particular, I'd like you to think about the two most painful traits from either parent that you grew up with as a child. So these are the two things that was the most difficult or painful things that you experienced with your parents growing up. So just think about that. Now, for some people, the trait that they suffered from the most was that their mother or father was emotionally unavailable, which made them feel unloved and unimportant. For other people, it was their parents' scary anger or painful controlling behavior that made them feel like it was not okay to be themselves. Or it might be their parents' judgment and criticism that made them feel like they were never good enough, so they always had to seek their parents' approval. Or it could be growing up with a needy parent that you felt like you had to take care of, so that you had to be the parent instead of the child. Or maybe you grew up feeling like you had to take care of the needs of others so that your needs didn't count. So these are just some of the common possibilities. So just notice if your parents had any of these negative traits, or maybe there were ones that were specific to your family. Okay, so now open your eyes. So now that you have the two traits that you suffered from the most growing up with your parents or caregivers, I'd like you to think about your last few significant relationships. So think about the most recent one. Did this person have either of these two negative traits? The two that you suffered from the most. Just think about that for a minute. And now think of the person before that. Did that person have either of these two negative traits? And now think of the person before that. Did that person have either of these two negative traits? Okay, now if you're like most of us, the answer may be, oh my God, yes. All of my partners had one or maybe even both of these negative traits. I've been having painful relationships with my father or mother over and over again. In fact, the sad truth is, at a subconscious level, people with these negative traits are the sexiest people on the planet for you. That was true for me and for most people as well. This is hugely important to understand, and 99% of people don't know about this. As long as you are powerfully subconsciously attracted to people with the negative traits of your parents, you'll keep getting involved with those people and experience the same pain that you experienced as a child growing up, and your relationships are doomed to be unhappy. So think about it. Isn't this what you've been experiencing in your life so far? So you may be thinking that now that you understand about being attracted to people with the negative traits of your parents, that you'll be on the lookout and stay away from them and pick better partners instead. This is exactly what I thought when my therapist first told me about this concept many, many years ago. But there's two big problems with this plan. First of all, remember that you are subconsciously attracted to these people without being consciously aware that they have the negative traits. In fact, at first, it may not seem like they have the negative traits at all. New dating partners often come across as very loving at first, and then you're taken by complete surprise when their true colors show through later. The truth is that your subconscious mind is picking up on subtle cues from all the way across the room that they do have those negative traits, and that's what's making you attracted to them in the first place. And then there's a huge problem with trying to pick healthy partners on purpose. Have you ever had a friend or somebody that you knew that you could tell would make an amazing partner for somebody, and you really like this person, you even found them visually good looking, but for some reason you just don't seem to have any chemistry with the person? And it's really frustrating you even that you don't have chemistry with the person, because you can see what a wonderful partner they would make, but you don't have the chemistry and you just can't force it. So what is going on here? Well, it turns out that just like people with the negative traits of your parents are the sexiest people on the planet for you subconsciously, people without those negative traits just ain't sexy at all. And we can't force ourselves to become attracted to someone. Can you see how huge all this is? It was a giant wake-up call for me when I first understood all this. Dating advice given by dating coaches doesn't address the real problem at all. All they do is help you find the next painful partner faster. So this can all sound very discouraging. So is it true that we're all doomed to keep having relationships with people with the worst traits of our parents? Well, I'm very happy to say the answer is absolutely not. In my over 29 years of experience coaching people through this very problem, it is totally possible to break free and stop being attracted to people with the worst traits of our parents once and for all. You will then naturally become attracted to your soulmate instead. So the big question is, how do you break free from these powerful negative attraction patterns? Well, there's a special healing process using EFT tapping that will help you break free. So here's how it works in a nutshell. You start by picking one of the negative traits that you're attracted to in your parents. And people typically are attracted to 1, 2, or 3 of their negative traits in their partners. And then you want to think of 3 to 5 example memories of your parent doing that trait to you when you were a child. And then you can use a special EFT process to heal each one of these memories. And once you've healed somewhere around 3 to 5 of these memories, you will stop being attracted to people with that negative trait. And in fact, you'll become repulsed by somebody with that negative trait, which is an incredible relief. So for example, let's say you're attracted to people with anger issues because you had an angry father growing up. So what you want to do is pick 3 example memories of your father, yelling, screaming at you in rageful anger, and use the special EFT healing process to heal these memories. And once you've done that, as I said, not only will you no longer be attracted to people with anger issues, but you'll feel repulsed by them instead. On a subconscious level, you'll feel repulsed. Just like on a subconscious level, you're initially attracted to them. And this is all about, not consciously knowing whether or not they have anger issues. Because as I said in the beginning, lots of times they seem very calm and relaxed and no anger issues at all. And then they show up later, right? Well, in the same way that you picked up on the subtle cues to be attracted to those people, you'll pick up on the same subtle cues to be repulsed by them. So you'll never have to worry about being attracted to somebody with that negative trait ever again. Okay, so then you would do the same process for the remaining negative traits you're attracted to, right? Either 1 more or 2 more, or maybe even 3. It depends on each person. So once you've done this, like I said, you'll not only be repulsed by 1 negative trait, but you'll be repulsed by all the negative traits that you've now healed. And it will transform your love life. That whole chapter of your life of being attracted to the wrong people will just be completely over. So in addition to no longer being attracted to those kind of negative partners, you'll now naturally be attracted to a wonderful, loving partner so you can finally find your soulmate. However, there's one complication here. Regular EFT by itself is not sufficient for healing these kind of memories and making it so you can break out of these negative attraction patterns. I've worked with many clients who try to break out of their negative attraction patterns with other EFT practitioners without success until they finally came to me, and then I used this special EFT process, and then finally they were successful in breaking out of the negative attraction patterns. I don't have time to get into this special healing process because it would double the length of this video. But also, as important as this whole negative attraction pattern thing is, it is actually only one of 3 key blocks keeping you from your soulmate. I have a free mini course called The 3 Secrets to Attracting Amazing Love that you can get at my website at singletosoulmate.me, where you can learn all about this. There's a link in the description of this video. The free mini course consists of 8 daily lessons that goes in depth into all 3 key blocks and how to break free from them so you can finally be with your soulmate. This includes a deep dive into how your powerful subconscious negative attraction patterns are created psychologically, and most importantly, the special EFT-based healing process needed to break free from them once and for all. This mini course then does the same thing with the 2nd and 3rd key blocks so that there is nothing in the way of you attracting your soulmate. I really encourage you to get this free mini course because I want you to find the same kind of love that I found with my wife, Laura. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, it would really help me and other people to find the video if you would take a second to like it. I look forward to responding to your comments and questions in the comments below this video. Subscribe to my channel to get my latest videos about EFT and finding your soulmate. So keep tapping, clear your blocks, and you too will finally be able to be with your soulmate. I'll see you on the next video.